Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with Helping Hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be a notion that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
Bon Beanie, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fintastic Cruising. This is Matt.
And I'm Kimbra.
And this is not a normal episode of Fintastic Cruising because this is a cruise-a-thon. And not just any cruise-a-thon. It is Helping Hands for Cruising. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is going to be different than our normal podcast because we are going to be a lot more interactive with our people in the chat right now. Thank you so much for joining so many people out there. And we have some fun stuff we are going to do today to hopefully entertain you guys. But most importantly, our goal, like every creator that has been on since the wee hours of the morning, the wee hours of the morning.
I mean, it's only 8. That's not that wee.
Look, there are different time zones involved here.
That's true. Okay.
We are going to try and raise money to help people cruise that otherwise would maybe not have that opportunity. That is the goal. That is the dream. That is what we are a small piece of to help make that happen for so many people out there. So if you are watching right now or in the future, I don't know how long this PayPal link will be live for.
Probably
but
forever.
Well, hopefully it'll keep going. So there is a link in the top. There should be in the top of the chat window that you can click on to donate. And yeah, we have some strange things that are going to happen today if you donate. For one, I might eat these. That could happen.
Gross.
These are Mexican spice mealworms. So we'll see if that happens. Also, we're going to do a fun giveaway too. The person that donates the most during our hour, we are going to send you a few things. So Kimber's going to turn off the green screen momentarily because I can't show you this with the green screen or it just looks like nothing. But basically, you're going to get a little bit of swag. Okay, so we're going to send you a window decal, Fintastic Cruising. And if you're just joining us and you're like, are you Fintastic Studios? Are you Fintastic Cruising? The YouTube channel is Fintastic Studios. The podcast is Fintastic Cruising. I know we didn't think that through very well, but that is how it is. You're going to get also a decal right here of Fintastic Cruising, and you are going to get an art print from me that is signed by me. So if you are interested in that, or more importantly, if you're just interested in helping out this really cool cause, donate some funds. Anything helps. 25 cents helps. $25 helps more. $250 is amazing. Shall I say fantastic? I think I shall. All right. So look, since this is not our normal typical podcast format, we do want to say hi to some folks that are out there. I don't know if are we going to say hi to everybody? There's a lot of people.
Yeah,
in
I
here
don't
right
know
now,
if we can
which
say
is
hi to
awesome.
everyone.
But thank you guys for joining. We've got a lot of creators that have been in here already that I've seen all day long. We've been trying to pop in and out all day long. And
I do want to point out here, it looks like someone has probably woken up from their slumber.
oh, look at that. Bon
to
Beanie.
join us.
Look, I was trying to stick up for you guys with the different time zones and stuff. Look, Down Under Cruisers deserve all the props for this because they're the brain children behind it. There are a lot of other people that have been very heavily involved, including Fat Matt, who did the song that you just saw. So that was pretty cool. And lots of these other creators, like I mentioned. But Down Under Cruisers have really been the ones that I think centralized this whole idea. And they are 14 hours, right? 14 hours ahead of us.
Yep. So right now it is 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
I mean, we were up at 7 a.m.
That's true. That's true. But we're old, so that happens when you get older.
We?
Whatever.
Who's old?
Whatever. So yes. So that's what's gonna happen. So what should we do first here?
Do you want to? I don't know if we get. There's so many people. I don't want to spend the whole hour just saying hi to people. So let's just do an overall. If you're in here, hello. It's not because we don't care about you individually. It's just because we want to.
Except that one person, and you know who you are.
The one that we popped up on the screen and said hi to.
What?
Down Under Cruisers.
Oh,
please.
no.
No.
Look. Also,
I'm just kidding.
I'm just going to interrupt you because it's
Apparently that's
what
you do.
It's what I do.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
I don't even know what I was gonna say.
You just reminded me that I'm slowly turning into Sean because the beard's gone.
I also want to throw out real quick because
I've got my Australia shirt. I'm representing.
The dog that has been sleeping literally all day has been fed, has been let out, and was sleeping is now wanting attention.
Of course.
Because what else would he do?
That's what he does
during this time.
That's what he does. Look, we're gonna get to this. Mike says he wants to see me eat something. Yeah, you could make me eat this entire box. I'm not gonna eat the actual box because that's probably bad for me. But the contents inside, which are larvettes, mealworms, which I will tell you are actually the larva of beetles. See if I can get those up there.
I mean, that's what our lizard eats.
That is what our lizard eats. So
probably not the Mexican spice flavor.
I don't know. I mean, she is south of Mexico is where she's from, Argentina and stuff like that. So, okay, but we have some other stuff to do too. So we'll get to the eating of the larvae if that comes to pass in a little bit here. But I think we should start with some other stuff here. So
okay.
Another thing that we're going to do is if you watch our podcast or listen to our podcast, you know that a big portion of it is talking about animals. We're both animal people and cruise creatures. So if you make any donation at all, and we can see the donations, but for this, if you put it in, we'll just trust that you're being honest. If you donate anything at all, and you put a cruise creature in the chat, we will do our best to do a mini cruise creature segment right now. And if we can't do it, if you stump us with an animal and we're like, I know nothing of this creature, then we will try and put it on one of our podcasts as a full-on cruise
Wouldn't
creature.
it be fun if somebody picked something that I actually know something about?
There's a lot of things you know about. Here's the caveat. It's got to be a currently extant species. So it's got to be real. All right. And it has to be a species that is currently living today. Not like, we're not going to go with like dinosaurs. And
like
stuff.
no dodo bird.
Preferably something you could potentially see on a cruise, but we can be a little fast and loose with those
Oh,
rules.
here, let me I have to share this. Dan says that he's got us up. He's in Vegas right now, and he's got us up on a smart TV wherever he is there. He said he's got about 50 people watching right now. let's see, comes from being on a big screen in the gambling capital of the world.
I'm nervous now.
Yeah, I know. You shouldn't have told us that.
Reno's really obnoxious.
Yes.
All right, so I see some requests for cruise creatures here.
Yes. Let's.
We're gonna check out and see. And then what is Sean saying here? How do I? Matt, I think you are now part of a triplet. A triplet?
Who's the third?
What? Yeah, who's the third? Is it you, me, and yeah, who's the third one? Kimbra is taking care of the notes to see if we can sort out our cruise creatures and such. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up too while you're sitting here watching us try and figure out what we're doing on this live stream.
Okay, so
TV famous, yes. That's
we've gotten
only slightly different than YouTube.
We've
famous.
gotten requests for cruise creatures, but we don't have donations for it. So
it could be anything.
You have to donate to get the cruise creature.
It could be anything though, and during now because
during our hour.
So that's what we're looking at. It could be anything though. It could be like
Donovan from RV on the Wayside. He's your third.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep. It's the bald crew. All right.
All right. So what do we have going on? We have sort of a plan, a bit of an itinerary. We're not totally out there.
While we're waiting to confirm cruise creatures and stuff, we do have some other things that we thought it would be fun to cover while we have you guys here, and we can get your input as well on these things. So basically, and we have some trivia coming up too. We got a lot. Look, I'm an educator. I like to schedule way more than I have time for. That way I always can fall back on that. But the first thing is we're going to tell you some fun information. And the first one is here. Let me see. The biggest mistake that Matt has ever made on a cruise. And then we're going to tell you the biggest mistake Kimbra's ever made on a cruise. So, and if you guys have mistakes you've made on a cruise, and you can sum them up in the chat, let us know what those are, and we'll hide those. The dog is sneezing. I don't know why. If the green screen suddenly falls, if the tequila bar falls forward, you know that the dog, whose name is Reno, by the way. So we've got viewers in Las Vegas and a dog named Reno.
Oh, that is not a touch screen. Let me try again.
So here's the biggest mistake I ever made on a cruise. It was actually when I did the Cruise Geeks, and it was the Lolita Loca Cruise Geek group cruise, and we were at Half Moon Cay, which is one of Carnival's private islands, and I was snorkeling as I do, and then it was lunchtime, and the snorkel beach it's a bit of a walk to where the lunch thing is, so I decided to just walk there. I mean, what are you going to do? But I didn't put my flip-flops on. And as I was going to the lunch venue, I noticed that the pavement was pretty warm. And I kept kind of switching to the grass, to the pavement. But I didn't really think a whole lot of it until I got back on the ship. Or as I was getting back on the ship. And the blisters started to set in. And I popped them all. And I basically roasted the bottom front of both of my feet to the point where we actually had to wrap them in gauze. It was the most severe cruise injury I've ever suffered. We had a mini golf or putt-putt, whatever you want to call it, tournament the next day. And I had a hard time competing. I didn't do well in it, and I blame it on my feet. It probably was just me not being very good at golf, but that's what I blame it on. That was my biggest mistake that I have made whilst cruising. Kimbra, you look like you are busy figuring stuff out over here.
I cannot keep up.
Do you want to tell them your biggest mistake, or do you want me to keep doing what I do?
No, I can do that. Shoot, I cannot keep up with this.
If you see my arm doing something weird, it's because I'm trying to hold the dog at bay.
Is mine the spa thing?
Yours is the spa.
Okay, so my biggest mistake is trying to do multiple things at once. No.
I'm the man. I'm the one that can't multitask. It's true.
So my biggest cruise mistake is I went on a cruise with a friend, and we had went to like the spa welcome thing or whatever, and my friend won like a gift certificate for money towards a spa treatment. So we were like, cool, let's like share a couples massage or something, because why not? And we go and we get it set up, and they give us a price, and we do our thing. And at the end, they're like, it's this much, which is double what they told us. What they didn't say was it's this much per person. So my biggest mistake is that we didn't get that clarification. And then it kind of like made the rest of the cruise a bummer, because we're like, that's like all of the money that we had for this cruise. So we can't do any of the fun things. And we, unfortunately we let it mess up our cruise, and it was on the first day.
So that is something I was afraid of when I went on my first cruise. Like, one of the reasons why I kind of got involved in the cruising community or discovered it, because I started watching YouTube videos. And the reason I did that, or one of the main reasons, is I was so scared I was going to get nickeled and dimed when I went on the cruise. Like, I was like, what are these hidden costs that I don't know about? Turns out there really weren't many, but there are a few things you have to be careful of and be aware of, like that, for instance. So that was one thing there. Also, I noticed, let's see, Travel Adventures with Eric B said, mine is never going on one until next October. That's fair. I mean, if you were planning to go on one, and then it'd be kind of difficult. Oh, my friend Austin's in there.
I was going to tell you that. He
Very
also
cool.
donated.
Oh, really? Thank
He
you,
did.
Austin. Austin is not really active in the cruising community. But he has cruised.
And he's thinking about going on a cruise with us.
And he's considering it. So maybe we'll get him into the cruising community.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So what do we got? We have some people that
we have some animal requests, but we don't have donations from them. And the 2 donations that we have did not request an animal.
Yeah,
So,
Austin
but
did.
I think one of those donations was for those worms.
Oh.
That would be Mike.
Okay.
I think Austin is just being a cool person.
No, Austin said sea hare.
Oh, he said something?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, Austin said sea hare. It's funny because Austin is like me, but younger. And so Austin probably knows all about sea hares. But we can talk about sea hares.
I can. I've played with sea hares.
You have.
Yeah. They
It made her hoppy.
They're really cool.
It's around April.
No, it was in
No,
October.
it was in October. It was out of season. It was an out of season sea hare.
Okay.
Tell us about the sea hare, Kimbra.
So the ones that I know about is the ragged sea hare, and it's kind of gloopy kind of looking, like,
especially out of the water.
Yeah. So I mean, when we were walking through, they're like just little, I don't know, you pick them up and they're just like little gloopy things. But what's really cool is something that they do for defense is like they ink. The ink's the right word, right?
Ink's the right word.
So if you kind of poke them, which don't like be mean, but kind of poke them a little, you'll get like a purpley ink that will come out, and that's a defense mechanism.
It is purple. So here's a fun thing about sea hares and really all the sea slug type species. That purple ink that they have was once very, very prized for its color, because purple is a hard color to find to make dyes and things out of. So back in the way olden times, that is one of the reasons why purple was considered the color of royalty, is because it was a harder dye to get. And most of the purple that they got were from animals similar to the sea hare. Now, the sea hare is a mollusk, so it's related to snails. There was a lot of snail talk in the Spikers group last time. And Kenneth, what is it? Kenny or Kenneth? He wants to eat escargot. He's the one that has benefited from Helping Hands for Cruising. He's the first beneficiary from that. He gets to go on the group cruise that they're doing, but he really wants to eat escargot, which I like escargot. And they are in that same group of animals. The snails and also octopus and squid are in that group. So you can see the relationship there that they ink. But the sea hare, what makes them a little different is that whereas most of these snail type animals or slug type animals stay on the bottom, the sea hare actually sort of swims and has these undulating fin type structures that helps them to move through the water, which is pretty cool.
So Donovan asked for the cuttlefish and he donated.
It's an all mollusk time here. So the cuttlefish
Are really cuddly. No, they're really cool. They change colors and stuff with their chromatophores.
Chromatophores. Yes, throw out
There
the big science words, which is a big.
Sorry, I am gonna interrupt real quick.
Go.
Travel Tour Chase wants to know if we are both marine biologists. No,
But we are neither.
we're cool.
Neither one of us are marine biologists. We do work at the Florida Aquarium in Tampa, and I teach there. But my background is in education. My education background is in education, but my personal background of study of interest and my work history is in zoos and aquariums and animals. So that is our passion. But back to the cuttlefish. So they are also in this mollusk group, but they're in the family cephalopods. So they're a little different than the gastropods, which are your slugs and your snails. But there are several different species of cuttlefish. My favorite is the flamboyant cuttlefish.
That's my favorite too.
And they are fabulous. They're actually pretty small, and they're beautiful purples and yellows. And yeah, like Kimbra was saying, they, like all of the cephalopods, octopus and squid, cuttlefish, nautilus, can change the little skin cells in their skin, the little pigment cells in their skin, and make different colors, different patterns. They do this for communication. They do it for camouflage. Really, really
I'm going to
cool.
interrupt you real quick. So Adam says that he's donated. It hasn't shown up yet,
Okay.
but he has said it multiple times. He wants
We-
sea turtle.
we
I'm
believe
going to
you,
take
Adam.
the dog out.
Yes, do something with Reno. Now, but yeah, cuttlefish are really, really amazing. And unfortunately, there are none in the Caribbean. All the cuttlefish are in other parts of the world. We do have Caribbean reef squid, which look a lot like a cuttlefish, but they are they're just not quite the same thing. So, all right, let's see here. Adam said sea turtle. Now, Adam, that is a thank you guys for donating too. That is a broad subject there, because there are like 7 different species of sea turtle. We actually did a whole episode on sea turtles. If you're interested in sea turtles, you should go back. I think it was one of our first video ones. Of course, she walked away I can't remember now. But anyway, we did a whole episode, but that's okay. I'm going to do this one here. 7 species of sea turtle. We have 5 that you can find in Florida waters, since we're Florida based. And I mean, there are obviously exceptions of non-Florida based, but there are a few that nest, but you'll find these certain species throughout the Caribbean pretty predominantly. And those are going to be your green sea turtle, which is one of the most common ones I've seen, as well as your hawksbill sea turtle, which is the other one I've seen quite a bit of. In this part of the world, which we're in Tampa, and diving and stuff, I've seen loggerhead sea turtles. Now, there are also Kemp's Ridley sea turtles that are very endangered, very rare, but they're in this part of the world. And there's also leatherback sea turtles, which are really rare to find because they're more open ocean sea turtles. They're also the largest species of sea turtle. But I'll give you a fun fact, Adam, about the green sea turtle. They are called green sea turtles not because they are green on the outside, because they're not. They're like browns and kind of tans and whites, but they are green on the inside. And the reason is they eat mostly seagrass, and seagrass has the chlorophyll in it that plants use for photosynthesis. They eat so much seagrass that it turns the fat tissue in their bodies green. And so that's why they're green on the inside. So that's pretty cool. Let me see what we've got. Wow, it's hard to keep up with all this stuff. Thank you guys so much. If I missed something here too, I apologize. Send us an email, fintasticruising@gmail.com, if we missed something during this live stream, and we will make up for it somehow. Because I know it's okay. There's the marine biologist question. RV says I had to donate twice for it to show up. Donate cuttlefish. I'm sorry, but I hope that was cool. Cuttlefish are one of my favorite animals. If you want to see a cuttlefish in the United States, you won't find them in the wild, but a good aquarium to see them at is Moat Marine Aquarium in Sarasota, Florida. We don't have any at the Florida Aquarium in Tampa, and I don't know if they have any at SeaWorld now. I haven't been there in a while. There probably are other aquariums in the country that have cuttlefish, but Moat actually has been breeding them and stuff. It's the problem with being a cuttlefish is that you have a very short lifespan, like 1 to 2 years is the maximum lifespan of these animals. So let's see. Going through here. Call Me Vi says, oh, that's the wrong one. It moves so fast. Says, I want to be reincarnated as a flamboyant cuttlefish. And I've never seen a green sea turtle. So yeah, I mean, if you want to see sea turtles, there are a lot of great excursions you can do that know where sea turtles are. There are some areas in the Caribbean where they're very common, and other parts of the world too. If you want to see them and you're not in the Caribbean, one of those specified areas, the best way to see them is like snorkeling or scuba diving. I've seen the Kemps. I've seen most of the sea turtles I've seen while scuba diving. They weren't scuba diving, to be clear, but while scuba diving. I'm so glad you're back because
Have I missed a lot of stuff?
I've missed a lot of stuff, and I've
Great.
been here.
Okay.
So
So let's
I want to
see.
make sure I did sea turtles for Adam. Thank you, Adam. I did cuttlefish for Donovan. Thank you, Donovan. But it looks like Heather has donated for blue whale.
Okay.
So look, I'm just going to say, and we did the sea hare one. I'm just going to assume these people are good, honest people, because I know a lot of them. So we're just going to assume that Heather donated something for this, and we're going to talk about the blue whale
Okay.
because that's a big one. It's a big topic to cover. You want to talk about the blue whale?
The blue whale can fart a bubble big enough for a human to fit inside.
I didn't know that. You just said a marine science fact I didn't know.
That is what I know about the blue whale.
That's a really cool fact that I hope I never experience. Fart a bubble big enough that a human could fit inside of it.
Yeah.
Here's the question though. If that happened underwater, would you be able to breathe that air, or is it all just methane?
You probably wouldn't be able to breathe that air. I mean, if you had a scuba tank and a regulator connected, you'd probably. I don't know if I'd want to do that either.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to do that. That is interesting. So we watched recently. We've been watching all the original series Star Trek movies, and we just watched Star Trek 4, the Voyage Home, which she had never seen before. So we just watched the whole Star Trek about humpback whales, but blue whales are even more impressive than humpback whales because they're the biggest. Not only are they the biggest whale, they're the biggest animal that, as far as we know, has ever lived on the planet, unless you count some kind of colonial weird chain things. But like solid, big, massive animals, they're it. That is it. That is the top of the large megafauna chain right there, the blue whale.
Yes, whales fart.
Yes.
So here's a random fun fact about farting animals, which nobody asked about this, but manatees control whether they go up or down their buoyancy by farting. So if they want to like move down, they fart a bunch and then they'll move down.
That is pretty cool. One time I used to work at a science center and I had to go to a marine quest thing that the University of South Florida hosts. And it's a big marine science day. And I was speaking to an auditorium of people about alligators because that's my thing is alligators. But I was following an actual university professor who was talking about manatee flatulence. And I'm thinking, how am I going to follow? Like it was earlier in my career. Somebody must be outside. The dog's barking. I'm like, how am I going to follow a university professor talking about manatee flatulence? They're going to be so bored with my. But what I forgot to take into consideration is the fact that a lot of university professors, not super engaging, even with the topic of manatee farts. They couldn't make it stick, which would be extra gross. But so mine was a hit. Not only that, I had an actual live alligator. That helps
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh yeah.
You can be really boring and have a live alligator, and people will listen to you. It's incredible. So, okay. I forgot what I was even talking about. Let's see. Oh, the blue whale.
I do want to mention real quick. Adam said that he did donate. I do see it, Adam. It was
we believe you.
Yeah, we also believe you, but it just wasn't showing up. Sometimes it's
There's
just
probably
slow, I guess.
there's probably a delay.
A delay. Yeah.
But look, what else do I want to say about the blue whale? They can get like, I think most things will say like 90 feet long, but they're a baleen whale, which means that they have these sort of filter hair structures, kind of like their version of teeth.
Yeah.
And so what they'll do is they'll open their mouth and swallow a big school of like krill or something, which are little shrimp type animals. And then they'll close their mouth, they'll close the baleen, and they'll take their huge tongues and they will push the water out and keep the krill in. It filters it out, and then they just lick the krill off. Being that big, they have to eat a lot of krill. Here's another fun fact about the blue whale and all whales is that everybody knows they have the blowhole.
Mm-hmm.
But really what you should know is that they have the blowholes, because that's basically their nostrils. And so there are two of them. And if you look closely at like a video of a whale spout, you'll see it. If it's a good enough resolution, there's two openings there. And that is how they breathe. They don't breathe through their mouths at all. So that allows them to do things like swallow all that stuff without drowning, because they're mammals. They have lungs. They have to come up to breathe, which I need to stop and breathe too, because I've been talking.
You talk a lot.
Oh, and Austin did say that they do have flamboyant cuttlefish at SeaWorld right now. So I'm telling you, they're really cool.
Super cool. We had them at the aquarium for a short time, and they were like my favorite thing to get up and go check out. Like, it was cool.
Uh-oh, Glenn.
Okay.
Be a powerful jacuzzi.
Ew. Oh, Austin said it may have been the seas at Epcot.
Oh, okay. One of them.
Somewhere.
They exist.
Cool. All right.
Let's do another
thing.
Fact thing.
Okay.
And this one you guys can definitely answer, I believe, because this is the best tasting food Matt ever had on a cruise. And the best tasting food, now I'm going to give a caveat of what I mean by this, because I've had a lot of really good food, and I love me a Guy's burger, and I love the Indian food and a lot of stuff. But the one that took me off guard and surprised me was the chilled mango soup. Oh my God. This was amazing. I love mangoes, so that helped. But I've had the chilled strawberry and stuff. That's also amazing. But it's basic, and it's weird if you ever get it. Like, I ordered it because you're on a cruise, be adventurous, right? So I'm like, chilled mango soup. I'm going to try that. So they bring you a bowl, right? And in this bowl, nice big bowl, is a little gelatinous cube about the size of a six-sided die, or a D20 if you're of our weird ilk. And so and that's it. And then they just set it in front of you, and then they walk away, and you're like, what? What is this? This is like one bite and it's done. But that's not the end of it. Then they bring you this like cream stuff, this chilled cream stuff, and they pour that and it mixes in, and it is chilled mango soup. It's outstanding. I don't think of it as soup. I think of it's almost more like some people describe it like a melted milkshake or something.
Say melted ice cream.
But I don't like melted ice cream, but I like this. I always look for it. I always look for it on the menu. And what was Kimbra's best tasting food that she's ever had?
So mine was more of a surprise. So on our last cruise, Matt ordered the French onion soup, and I was like, gross, I don't like onions, and I don't like soggy bread, and I'm not really a soup person.
There's nothing about the soup.
Except the cheese. I like cheese.
Yes.
But I tried it, and for the rest of the cruise, every night, I had French onion soup. So
yes,
I apparently like French onion soup.
And then we made the cheap Campbell's version when we got home,
which was not as good.
And we got scolded by by people for doing that, which we still haven't made it properly.
No.
I don't know. We used to get French onion soup when I was a kid, at some restaurant, and yeah, I don't know. I've always loved it, but okay. So yeah. So what are some of the foods that you guys have thought were just outstanding? Maybe something a little different, like the escargot, or just something that you were like, no, I wanted to try this and it was really, really good. Like, what's some good food that you guys have enjoyed? I wish they had Vegemite. I brought my own Vegemite onto a cruise before.
Yes.
And because they don't have it on American cruises, so I have to bring my own. I recently got a box of, like, you get the little jelly packets over here of Vegemite packets. I got a box of 90 of them.
96.
96.
Yeah.
And I saw the other day that they expire in August, but I don't think that Vegemite really expires. It says best buy, not expire. So I'm not too worried about it, but I've got a lot of Vegemite to eat. French onion soupy. Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Have you ever tried to regulate your buoyancy while scuba diving through flatulence?
No, not that way. Nope.
You know, it doesn't work if you're wearing a wetsuit because the bubbles just stay in there.
Stay inside.
All right. Well, you know what? You said Mike donated some money.
Yeah, you gonna do your thing?
I don't know. Did he donate? Is it worth it? Did I get enough for one?
But between Mike and your mom.
Oh, my mom did too?
Yeah.
She probably donated not to counter it though.
Probably. But hey, just think about this. At least he's eating it now and not 1 year here in like a couple weeks.
My mom is an animal person. I don't mean that like she's part animal. I mean, humans are animals, but I mean, she loves animals. Like, that's why I am who I am today. Like, my mom loves alligators and snakes and all animals, really, hummingbirds, but she doesn't like worms. That's like her one nemesis is the worm. So even though I tell her from a zoological perspective, these really are not worms, right? These are beetle larvae. It's like a caterpillar, but here we go. I don't have a problem with worms, but I don't know that I've ever wanted to eat them. Full confession, my first zookeeping job, I was an entomology keeper, so I took care of things like this. Should I do it? Are you going to?
No, I'm not going to do it. I told you that when you bought them. Just do it.
All right, here we go. There's not a lot of substance there.
Crunchy?
It's mostly just
Oh, Lovey says he thought a mouthful was going down.
Oh,
you got to make it worth it.
I just, you got to ease into it. Here. All right, Lovey. Just for you guys.
Ugh.
But next time I see Anthony, he's got to try this too. I'm going to do this whole mouthful right here, okay? I'm going to leave it on camera so you can see it. Here we go. I'm not getting a lot of Mexican spice. I'm really just getting exoskeleton.
I don't like to hear it. Can you? Oh, get it off of me.
I don't usually chew my mouth open, but I thought it'd be more dramatic. It kind of reminds me of like the husk of a peanut.
Mm.
They're not bad. A little bready, a little bit like bread.
You gonna finish them?
I mean, I feel like I have to, right? Like, that was the deal, right?
I mean, it was only like $25.
Huh?
You didn't give like hundreds of dollars for that.
For you to eat these would take hundreds of dollars. For me to eat these,
Sean said it's dead, Kimbra. I know, but I still don't want it on me.
Sorry, I got a little bug in my throat. I would get these again, I think.
No. It was no. I just want to say, for those of you that are just listening to the audio portion of this podcast later, it's definitely worth your time to come back and watch this.
Yeah. Look, they had different flavors too, right?
Yeah,
Here's what happened. We went to a local, it's actually a chain, hot sauce store, because I love hot sauce. And I saw them and I'm like, You know what? I think we just found a way to get a few extra dollars for Helping Hands for Cruising.
Yeah, and I said I won't eat those.
Here we go. Cheers. Here's to Helping Hands for Cruising. Thank you, everybody, for donating.
How many calories was that?
Oh, no, I'm on a diet.
Oh no.
Insects are good. They're high protein, low fat.
Only 1 gram of protein in there.
Well, there wasn't a lot to it. Only 10.1 calories.
0.1. The
Have you ever
0.1
seen
matters.
Have you ever seen a point decimal? Let's see. Oh, that's not going to work.
Oh, do you want me to turn the thing off?
That's weird. It's white. Why is it doing that? Oh, well. It's 10.1 calories, 0.59 grams of total fat, 0.19 grams of carbohydrates. I think it's just such a small portion size. I do need to wash it down because they're kind of sticking to my teeth. They did have crickets at this place. I could have bought crickets, but I didn't like the flavors as much. It was just like, they were fine. They were like salt and vinegar and stuff, but I like spicy, so I thought, well, if I'm going to eat worms, what's happening?
Our camera just did a thing.
Let me switch it to technical difficulties.
Do you wanna turn it off and?
Yeah, here, turn on the.
Oh, that's attractive. I am sorry.
We'll let the camera cool down. I don't know why it does that sometimes. That's an interesting view.
Yeah, it's not good.
Now for do this.
You want me to do? Kind of. I'm sorry. This is not.
This is the Salvador Dali version. I don't know why our camera overheats sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. We're on 3 hours and it doesn't do it.
Your mom said you really did eat those worms.
I really did. You raised me right, Mom.
All right.
All right.
We came up with some trivia questions. You wanna do those?
We can do those. Yeah, we can do those. All right. So let's see. We have 5 trivia questions. This is how we're going to do this. Oh, and I'm glad we didn't answer the first one when we talked about these animals.
Oh, yeah.
This is how we're going to do it. We are going to read all 5 questions, okay? And you guys can answer them however you want. It's not a contest or anything. It's just for fun. And then once we've done all the questions, then we will give you the answers. So you guys can put them in the chat or just write them down or just think about it in your head. Or
so like the trivia on a cruise, like they give the question, you write it down, and then at the end they go through them and you see how many you got right.
Yeah, only we're not gonna. I don't have a ship on a stick I can send anybody.
No, I'll give you a up on a thumb.
But like Carnival, you can grade your own paper. Not a fan. Had a person we did Game of Thrones trivia on a ship, and somebody cheated, and then they got like called out for cheating. And they gave her a prize still. They gave her like a medal. And she like admittedly cheated. But what did happen, if you're a fan of the show, is everybody that was playing started going, shame, shame.
Do you want to try and turn that back on?
Let's give it a second. Let's do the questions, then we'll turn the camera back on.
This is just not a good look for me.
You always look good.
Aww.
All right, so here's question numero uno, or 1. What color is an octopus's blood? What color is an octopus's blood? That is question number 1. Okay, and if you want to answer them, put like the number of the question and the answer in the chat, and then we'll know which one you're answering. Not that, well, yes, not that these would probably be the same. We got some answers coming in here. All right, question number 2. Because somebody is a big Harry Potter fan, and they do Harry Potter trivia on the cruises, we threw in a Harry Potter trivia. Why don't you read that one?
How many Weasley children are there?
That's an easy one to answer because, you could just guess a number. The first one's a color. This one's a number. Like, even if you don't know, you can guess and just get it right.
Yeah.
So how many Weasley children are there? How many Weasley children? I'm not doing accents today. All right. Question number 3. What is the first cruise ship that Kimbra and Matt sailed on together? There'll be no Googling this one. What is the first cruise ship, and only so far, although we're going to fix that soon. Cruise ship that Matt and Kimbra, or Kimbra and Matt, as the case may be, have sailed on together. I'm like blurry now.
Yeah, well, this is just a computer webcam. It's not like a good camera.
And question number 5. You want to read that one?
You skipped number 4.
And question number 4.
What
5, sir. 5.
What ship is Kimbra and Matt scheduled to sail on in September?
Oh, yes. My mom got that question wrong. Which one we sailed on?
She also got this one wrong.
Oh,
she got that one wrong too.
Mom, you're striking out, Mom. What ship are we scheduled to sail on in September?
She better not get that one wrong.
I know, right? Because she's on it too. And finally, question number 5. How many cruise departure ports are there in the state of Florida? So what do we mean by that? I'm looking at the other camera this whole time.
We're over here now.
So I'm sorry about that. How many cruise departure ports? In other words, these are ports that major cruise lines sail out of in Florida. How many are there? You don't have to name them, but if unless you're really ambitious. All right, I'm going to try and turn our better camera back on.
I'm going to move this so the world doesn't see your
I was
boxers.
going to say, yeah, I'm not wearing pants, so we'll see if we're back in the room.
Nope. Oh, there we go.
We're back in the room. Okay.
We are good to go.
Yes.
All right.
I think I may know the problem with the camera.
Yeah?
Oh, man, those worms are dry coming back up. You can feel them crawling up the throat.
You're going to ruin your dinner.
You want to kiss me?
No, I don't. Actually, it doesn't smell good at all.
All right, so let's see. What were the questions? What color is an octopus's blood? What kind of answers did we get here?
We got that's not a touch screen.
I see black, orange, black, blue, blue, blue. Oh, down in the cruisers, is that a blue ringed or any octopus? That's any octopus, any cephalopod actually, or any mollusk for that matter.
You're really close to me. You're like, sorry.
That's because I had to scoot over
I know.
for the.
Well, you don't have to go that far. Your chair was just pinching
Wow.
my leg.
You just don't want me
No,
that
I
close?
want you close to me, just not your mouth.
Really? Is it that bad?
No.
I have worm breath? Is that what you're saying? So the right answer was not given.
Yes, it was.
It was?
Blue?
No.
It's not.
Well, no, it's blue. Sorry, I was thinking of Vulcans and things. Klingons. I don't know. It's blue. That's right. It is blue. And the reason it's blue is because of the metal that is in their blood. It is not iron-based like our blood, which is why ours is red. Just like think of rust. Iron rust turns kind of an orangish red. Theirs is copper-based. Copper-based blood. So blue. Blue blood. Question number 2. How many Weasley children are there? I don't know. I'm really not doing good with accents. Let's see. Oh, then somebody said, okay, orange. 3, 4, 2.6. I like that. A big one? I'm not sure if that was an answer for this.
That's probably for the ship.
Okay. Yes, we're on to the ship. Okay. Kimbra, how many Weasley children are there?
There are 7 Weasley children.
7. 7 Weasley children.
Yes.
That's a lot of
Do
children.
I need to name them?
Go ahead and name them.
You want in age order?
I don't care what order. You could say whatever you want. I'll believe it. So
Jenny, Ron, Fred, George, Percy, Charlie, Bill.
there you go. Those are the Weasley children.
And fun fact for anybody that cares or likes Harry Potter, 7 is like the magic number. So most likely if there's a Harry Potter question that involves a number, it's going to have something to do with the number 7.
How many movies were there?
Well, there were 8 movies, but that's because they split the last book into 2 movies.
Yeah, I wonder how she felt about that. Getting
Yeah.
on that 7 there.
7 books, 7 years, 142 staircases. 1 + 4 + 2 is 7.
I told you she likes Harry Potter. All right. Next question was, what is the first cruise ship that Matt and Kimbra and Matt sailed on together? And that somebody said a big one. Moderately large for a cruise ship, medium range. Spirit of Tasmania. Is that really a ship? I've never heard of
I
that.
don't know.
Let's see. Oop, I just lost my place. The Paradise. No, mother, it was not the Paradise.
Out of the same port, but different cruise line.
Yes. It was.
Brilliant. The Brilliance of the Seas.
Yes, Royal Caribbean's Brilliance of the Seas. We sailed on that ship in February of 2020.
Yes.
Ports were literally being shut down as we were heading back home.
Yep.
So we got in there right in the nick of time.
And I enjoyed my first wild dive.
Yes. Little did we know that
It would be my last
cruise, our last cruise for like years. That was terrible. Hopefully we're about
How
at
many
the end of that.
Horcruxes? There are 7 Horcruxes.
All right. What was the next question? What ship is Matt and Kimbra? It's funny. I wrote Kimbra and Matt when I'm reading it. Even though it says Kimbra and Matt, I'm reading it Matt and Kimbra.
Well, you think you're first?
No, I don't. I usually put you ahead of me. But which ship are we scheduled to go in September?
I don't know. I don't think anyone answered that
Nobody
one.
answered that one. Uh-oh. I'll give you guys a hint. If you're going on the Down Under group cruise with the Spikers and all those people, it's the same ship.
Oh, am I supposed to say it?
Or you can.
It's the Carnival Horizon.
We're on the horizon. In fact, I'm pretty sure when I found this picture, I wish I had taken this picture, but if I got it off Carnival's website, I think it said, I'm not sure if this is the horizon. I was looking at a lot of pictures. It might have been. Might have been. All right. Okay. And then somebody says horizon. There you go. But there's a delay, so they probably got it before I said it. Or before you said it. And finally, how many cruise departure ports are there in the state of Florida? Let's see. I don't know if we got, let's see, somebody said 14. Oh, no, not terminals, actual ports, like places you can sail out of. So places you can sail out of. There's Brian's in there. I'm assuming that might be Dave that said, "G'day, guys," but he's on Facebook. 5. And Brian came in and got the end. Yes. And he named them Jacksonville, Fort Lauderdale. What's MC?
Canaveral.
Oh, Canaveral, Miami, and of course, Tampa. Yeah. Now, Key West is a port stop in Florida, but not any ships sailing out of Key West.
Yes.
So that is it right there. All right. We are almost at the end here.
Yeah.
Okay? So
that flew by.
It did fly by. I don't know if we're going to know who is getting the package yet.
Based on where we currently are, it is this person or this person, but this person.
Okay. So we know this person. We will be in contact with you so that we can get your address and send you all those goodies. No, it was the other Aussie. Oh, it's Ian. G'day, Ian. So we want to put up. Can we put up the next person that is going to be doing that? We made that like a thing that we could do, right?
Oh, I completely forgot about these banners. No, I didn't do that.
You didn't?
I did not.
Can we make a link real quick?
Yes, I just have to get it. Sorry, I am not prepared.
And I think we can. Oh, now there is somebody that said Hammerhead.
They didn't.
Well, I'm going to assume maybe they did. I'm going to assume maybe they did because
I don't know who James is.
Oh, so that could have been.
If James is somebody that's not, I don't know who James is.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this. We have 5 minutes left while you're pulling up that link for. You got that? Can you put you can put the link in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Put the link for RV on there.
Yeah. I got it. Okay. You talk.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to talk about hammerhead sharks because somebody did request that. And hammerhead sharks are arguably my favorite shark. I love hammerhead sharks. There are several different species of hammerheads, including the bonnet heads, which have more of a bonnet-shaped head, but they're a pretty common shark here. I had a very personal experience when I was a child with a bonnethead shark. My grandpa caught one. We thought it was a hammerhead shark. That was a baby. It wasn't. But here's why I think hammerhead sharks are so cool. Because, one, they're sharks. So by default, they're just...
I'm sorry, real quick. James popped in and said that's me. Did you ask for an animal, James, or are you just super cool? Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. We'll keep talking about the hammerhead shark. But what makes them extra cool is that they have the same sensory organs that other sharks have. The ampullae of Lorenzini, which picks up electrical currents, like from muscle movement. But because they have that broad hammer-shaped head, it allows them to really scan the bottom and find things like stingrays and flounders, which is what they specialize in eating.
James is just cool. Thank you for being cool.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Look, thank you to everybody throughout the day who has been a creator that has done a live. Thank you to everyone who has donated. Thank you for everyone who has done things behind the scenes. There's been so much work that's been put into this, so much effort, and it is just such a good, awesome thing that we can do as a community. And I hope that this is just the beginning. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Oh, I shouldn't say iceberg in a cruise live. This is just the point of the surface of what this is going to become. I crashed. All right. Did you get RV's
yeah, it's
link
up there.
Perfect.
And he posted it as well.
Good. Thank you.
Cool.
All right. Well, listen, we will stay on here for the next few minutes, and then you guys can switch over to that. We have been trying to pop into the chats in and out today. We've been doing other things too. We had to get done today, but we are going to meet our friends Dave and Brandy.
They popped in earlier.
Yes,
I don't know if you saw
for
that.
dinner. So we're going to be heading over there, and then I don't know if we'll be back in time for Loveys, but we'll probably try and pop into some of the lives later. So if we're missing, it's because we're eating food with Dave and Brandy from Dave and Brandy's Excursion.
Yes.
They're in town. So we got to take advantage of that. But seriously, thank you guys so much for all of the support. And don't forget to support all these other creators as well. What else we got? Anything else from the last? We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. What do we got?
We have one more thing we can say.
What'd you talk about on there? The drinks.
Oh, we had a drink. We'll say here. Okay, let's do our best cruise tips. How about that?
Okay. What's my cruise tip? We wrote it down.
Yes, your best cruise tip has to do with the dog.
Yeah. So, if you have a pet and you take your pet to someone to get watched, make sure that they have like somebody else's contact information, or they're microchipped, or at least their dog tag stays on them, or something of the sort. Because if they get away, your sitter has no way to contact you. That may or may not have happened with my dog, who is Houdini, the escape artist. It's happened twice. Yeah, so he is microchipped. So the person that found him took him home, found out who he belonged to through the microchip, and my mother managed to get everything taken care of while I was on a lovely cruise. And when I got to a port, I had lots of emails and text messages and voicemails, and then I was panicked until I found out it was okay.
So make sure you have especially if it's a dog sitter, make sure you've got a good contact that they can get a hold of for sure. My go-to cruise tip for today is going to be kind of the theme of what we talked about. Try something new. You're on a cruise. You can order whatever you want. You can experience all these things. Kenny was talking about this, trying the different foods. Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to do something that you wouldn't normally do at home. You can always just stop. If you don't like it, you can always order something else if it doesn't taste good. And then also, don't let the little things stress you out. Like she was talking about the spa. Take a breath. You're on vacation. Go with the flow. Something gets canceled. Something doesn't go right. That's going to happen on a cruise. Just relax. Enjoy your cruise. Bombini, everybody. That's what I should say in the beginning of the show. Have a fantastic week. Go check out all the other creators today, and we'll see you guys later.